we are to finding the quotient with fractions and decimals. So, y'all, with this, we already know how to do this. Why? Because we did do it, right? We did that, but we just did it with, like, writing it like this. But if you write it like this, all we got to do is mess around with the decimals. So anyway, let's not worry about that for right now. Let's mess with the fractions. And again, this says fractions only. How do you feel about the fractions only? If you don't know what I'm talking about with feelings, I mean this. Are you a 1, 2, 3, or 4? Okay. Find the quotient. What you do is you keep the same fraction up front. You're going to multiply them now. And you multiply by the reciprocal of the second fraction. Some of y'all lovingly refer to this as KFC, where it's like you keep the first one, you flip the division to multiplication, and you change the last one, or something like that. Whatever. If you want KFC, go get some. Here's the idea. This is what you do, okay? And then with multiplication, you just go straight across. So we have negative 45/60ths. And those can both be divided by 15, and you get negative 3/4. If you want to deal with simplifying before you get right here, you can do that. What you can do is you can simplify going up and down. You can simplify going up and down, but neither one of those can simplify going up and down. And if you're like, what do I mean? 9 is not divisible by the same things that 10 is. Same thing with 5 and 6, right? But 5 is divisible by 5 just like 10 is. And 6 is divisible by 3 just like 9 is. And now look, it's 3 times 1, 2 times 2. There we go. 40. You keep the first one. You change your sign. You flip the second one. You multiply. That's not a real song. I just started kind of singing to myself, I guess. You can divide both those by 2, and you get negative 14/11. You could leave it like that. You could cancel ahead of time. Both of those divide by 2, and oh look, 2 times 7 is 14. 11 times 1 is 11. If you want to write that as a mixed number, feel free to do that. It would be this. This is 11 right here. Number 41, negative 7/8 is now being multiplied by negative 12/5. And you get 84/40. You can divide both of those by 4 and get 21/10. And now you're done. If you want, that is 2 1/10. If you want to simplify earlier by canceling, you can divide that by 4 and get 2. Divide that by 4, you get 3. 7 times 3 is 21. 5 times 2 is 10. And now let's go ahead and talk about dividing decimals, okay? Because it's still quotients, and let's just do this. Let's get this over with, because this is the last thing. 6.4 divided by negative 3.2. I like to write them this way. I mean, that's how it's written, because I can immediately start to divide, and I don't have to guess what should be inside, what should be outside. Okay, but I've also said in class a few hundred times that I want you to think about, what are these numbers meaning? If you had roughly 6 cookies and roughly 3 friends, you know that you're going to get 2 cookies per friend, right? But if you were to switch it and you had 3 cookies and 6 friends, you're getting about a half a cookie each. So when you do this division, you want to know, does 3.2, will it go into 6.4 like that? Because this is the math we were hoping for. In fact, spoiler alert, the answer is just 2. Like, this was some rounding that was a happy rounding accident. But 3.2, so hang on, let me back up. If you saw that the answer was 2 right here, congratulations. It's also negative 2 because of that negative. But if you didn't know that, if you're like, whoa, math guy, chill out. All right, We want to know how many times does 3.2 go into 6? What a terrible question to ask. How about this? Let's move the decimal. So instead, we're asking how many times does 32 go into 64? And again, the answer is 2. If you haven't been paying attention, it's -2. Okay, this one is not as happily coincidental as the other one. And now I'm going to use the box because I try and bounce back and forth on the box. That sounded like a weird sentence to say. I also am going to go ahead and put some zeros there because we do have a decimal right here. But just like the last one, I'm going to move my decimal over because I don't want to ask the question how many 2.5s go into something. I will ask how many 25s go into something. How many 25s go into 1? None. How many 25s go into 15? None. How many 25s go into 154? 6. Because it's 150. How did I do that so fast? Quarters. I grew up playing in arcades where you pumped in 25 cents. And you can count by 25s because it's 25, 50, 75, $1. $1.25, $1.50. There we go. Those are tally marks, by the way. So subtract, and you get 4. This jumps up here to be 4. Then it's going to be 1. 25, we get 15. That goes up there, it's 150. And I feel like we've already done this because we have. The answer is 6.16. It's positive because we have a negative divided by negative. That makes positive. The same signs, positive. Last one, 23.8 divided by 5.6. I'm going to go ahead and do long division on this one. We just did a box, okay? So let's move our decimal because I don't want to ask the question, how many 5.6s go into anything? And now we have infinite zeros. Maybe, hopefully we don't need them. How many times does 56 go into 238? Let's start with 4. 56 times 4, 24. Carry the 2. That's 224. Hey, it worked out. This is 14. Bring down this 0. How many times does 56 go into 140? Probably just twice because that's 112. 56 times 2, 12. 112, right? So now do this subtraction and we get 18, right? No, 28. And then bring down this 0. I'm pretty sure this is just 5 now, but let's do the math. 56 times 5, that's 30, 25. Yeah, that's 280. So I said that it wasn't going to be like a happy coincidental number like -2, but I got to be honest with you, -4.25 is a pretty sweet, pretty easy number if you ask me. We have checked out all of this stuff. There's random videos over each of these. If you're not feeling super confident with them, let me know how I can help now.